and today what we're going to be talking about is how to embed some of the Web 2.0 tools that I've kind of been showing throughout other tutorials within a School World web page. This is section 1. Section 2 will actually cover a School Center page. But the first thing we're going to do is actually how to show you how to do it in School World. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my browser, and I already have a couple windows open. And you can see here I have an extra normal video opened up in one tab, and on the left here I have a School World page opened up. So what I'm going to do is that within these Web 2.0 tools, if you look around, and they're all kind of placed in different spots. In this case, extra normal, if you look over here on the right hand side, you'll see there's a URL, which is basically a direct link out to this site, and then there's this other piece where it says embed. What the embed is, it's HTML code that'll actually take your movie as it stands from this web page and actually place it on your School World page. So what we're going to do is I'm going to highlight all the code here, and I can do that by selecting all. And if I copy it, I'm going to come into my School World editor page, and again, this is just what a typical school page editor looks like. And you can see here down at the bottom of the screen, here's my School World page editor. And by default, we have our design view. So again, I can just type in whatever text, and it's called a WYSIWYG editor, which means what you see is what you get. But to actually put in the code so it'll work and function the way it should, if you look down here at the bottom of the page, there's these two tabs. There's the design tab, which is set up by default. So that means as you add images and things like that, you'll actually see the images on the page. What we're going to do to get this code in there and to get your movie to play is click on this little HTML tab here. So once I click on that, you can see that even though I don't have any text on there, there's a break tag, and all that is just essentially it's a paragraph break. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete that out, and I'm going to take that code that I copied, and I'm going to paste it into the editor window here, and you can see there's a lot of stuff there, and a lot of it probably isn't going to make much sense, but it's okay. It doesn't really matter, because again, it's all about how it functions, not really what's there. And if you'll notice, if I click back on the design tab, there's going to be nothing there. That's okay. Because it's HTML code and it kind of works behind the scenes, and the way the editor's set up, you're not always going to see the stuff that you embed in the editor page. But again, if I click back on the HTML, you can see all my codes there. And when I'm all done, if I just come down here and click on the save button, you can see up here that all my information has been saved. And now if I go out and actually view this page, if I select that, you can see now if I scroll down, here's my extra normal video, and if I hit the play button, the video will play, and I've successfully embedded a Web 2.0 tool into my School World web page. And that's the basics of embedding. Now comes section 2 of our embed tutorial, and that's how to embed Web 2.0 tools into a School Center page. Now again, one thing I must stress, and I kind of touched on it in the beginning of this section, is that your website administrator needs to activate advanced JavaScripting not only for the district, but as for you, the user. If those two things are done, this embed piece isn't going to work. But with that, again, I already have a couple of windows open up, so I'm going to go ahead and open up my School Center page, and on the left here I have a Blabberize page already set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click over on my School Center page here, and I'm going to actually add a page. So I'm going to come up to the Edit menu, select my drop-down menu, select Add a Page, and I'm just going to create a scrapbook page and add it. And one thing that's very important for this, and first let me name it quickly, I'm going to call it Embed Test. And once that's all set up, up here at the top, if you notice, there's a series of different tabs. I'm going to select the Layouts tab. One thing that needs to be done in order for the embedding to work is that the scrapbook page needs to be set up in the newsletter style. So on my layout section here, if I come down and select newsletter, and it's just going to ask me, are you sure you want to do this? And I'm going to say, okay. I'm going to pull this down a little bit so you can see it. Alright. And if I hit OK, it's going to change my formatting. When I'm all set, if I select Done, I now have my new page, and it's now set up as a newsletter style page. And again, it doesn't look much different than a normal page, but you'll see the difference in a minute here. So now that I have my newsletter page all set up, if I come up to the Edit menu, select from the drop down, and at the bottom here I'm going to select Add Newsletter Group. Okay, and that's just adding a section, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a picture and text. And my new item here, I'm just going to call it Embed Test, or I'll call it Black. Now, here comes kind of the weird piece of this with School Center. If I scroll down my window here, and if I come over and click on my Blabberize page, again, I kind of talked about it in the first piece. Every Web 2.0 tool is different how they actually do videos and give you that embed code. So, in this case, using Blabberize, if I select Share It, again, here's that embed code. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight it all. I'm going to copy it, and I just got to pop up my School Center page again. Now, typically, what you would usually do is select your Advanced Content Editor here at the bottom and go into HTML view as you would with a School World page. But in this case, and especially with this embed code, instead of doing all that, all you have to do is paste that code into the description piece here. And once that's all set, if I select the Done button, and if I go back over to the web page here and I scroll down, you can see now that my Blabberize piece is shown up, and if I hit the play button, it starts to play. So that is how you embed things into a School Center page.
My wife interpreted.